Welcome to the Decode Your Body podcast. I'm Tasha Miller, your host, symptom decoder and body clarity mentor for powerhouse women ready to finally understand their bodies. If you've done everything right, the plans, the protocols, the clean eating, and your body still feels unpredictable, this is where women stop guessing their symptoms and start decoding them through the lens of their unique body type. Get ready to become the CEO of your body. Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Decode Your Body. Today is going to be good, and I'm genuinely excited for this one because what I'm about to say might catch you off guard. You're actually not wanting to fix your symptoms. And I know that's probably not what you expected to hear from me. And you might even be thinking, well, Tasha, this podcast is literally about understanding the body. What do you mean I'm not actually wanting to fix them? Here's what I mean. What I keep seeing and what I have lived myself is how easy it is to get fixated on the symptoms. And I bet that you have told yourself at least one of these. When this bloating goes away, then I'll feel normal again. When I lose this weight, then I'll get my confidence back. When my digestion settles down, I'll finally feel like myself. When I'm so tired, I'll start that project that I've been putting off. And you think that getting rid of the symptom is the answer. But the truth is, it's not the symptom that you actually want gone. It's the instability, the unpredictability, and it's the constant checking, questioning, and hoping that tomorrow or next week will be different. It's wanting to trust your body again and not feeling like you actually can. Now, you aren't drowning or stuck in survival mode. You just aren't operating at the level that you know you want to be when it comes to your body and your health. And the symptom, it's just the surface layer. What you actually want is stability, the feeling of trusting your own body. And I know that women spend years trying to fix the surface. And I know because that was me, trying a new supplement, new protocol, a new routine, when what you actually want is to feel anchored. And there was a season in my life when I felt the healthiest, physically, mentally, emotional, without even trying. And it wasn't because I was doing everything perfectly, because I wasn't. And it wasn't about the perfect plan or because I was tracking anything. I was eating pretty good and I was doing Pilates, walking, some weight training, and honestly, not stressing about my body. And it was when I was just simply being a mother. And for me, that was the season where I felt the most myself, the most grounded without having to think about it. And it wasn't about being a full-time mother. It was just that my responsibilities were much simpler in that season, if you can even imagine, with 4 kids at that time. But I had no corporate job, no business, no pressure to perform or to keep up or to prove anything to anyone. I was just living and being present and spending time with my children, investing heavily in them, embracing homeschooling, and just doing what needed to be done and enjoying my days being a full-time mother. And my body, it felt so good in that season of my life. My cycles were normal. I had a lot of energy. My weight was consistent and where it was naturally meant to be. My skin was clear. I wasn't monitoring any symptoms because I really didn't have any. But my body felt safe, not because I had the perfect habits, but because I wasn't living in a constant state of internal bracing. Now, if we fast forward to right now, building a business after 2 years, well, it's been more than 2 years now, but after 2 years in a super high stress corporate job, over 20 hours a week in school while homeschooling the last 2 of my 6 children, and the load on my mind is different and the expectations are different. And even though nothing is wrong technically, my internal pressure is higher, my responsibility is heavier, and the emotional load is so much more. And when your life carries that much internal movement, of course your body is going to show you something. So for you, you're not feeling the moment that your symptom arrives. You're feeling the pattern that your body has been in finally becoming noticeable. And this is why women misread their symptoms so easily. You don't notice the moments leading up to it because no one ever taught you how to see them. So you might go to bed and lie in bed at night thinking, well, what did I do today? What did I eat? Is this hormones or perimenopause? Is this stress, or is it just one of those days? But what you're feeling in that moment isn't new. It's just the first time you've slowed down enough to notice what's been happening throughout your day. So your symptoms aren't random, and they're not sudden, and they're definitely not unpredictable. They're just the surface expression of the pattern that your body has been in, not the cause. And our patterns are shaped by how your nervous system has been running, how fast you've been moving throughout your days, the mental list that you're carrying from morning to night, the people that are depending on you, expectations. And this is the worst part that we hold ourselves to, the pressure that you hide from everyone else, and the history that your body has never had a chance to resolve. And your symptoms, they're simply just signals, not the whole story. And what you're feeling is the part that's easy to notice, but it's not the whole picture. And once you start understanding the pattern underneath the symptom, everything in your body begins to make sense in a way that it never has before. But here's the real problem. You're trying to solve whatever showed up today, when what you're feeling didn't actually start today. You're treating the moment the symptoms becomes noticeable as if that's when it began, but it actually didn't. The symptom is just the point where your body finally screams and gets your attention, and it's not the beginning of what sets your current pattern into motion. And this is where most women get stuck. You keep looking at the symptom instead of the pattern your body has shifted into underneath your day or your week or your months. The bloating, fatigue, brain fog, extra weight that you might be carrying. Maybe you can't gain weight, unpredictable digestion, and all the other symptoms that your body is experiencing. And those are just the surface signals or the signs. But the real issue is the pattern your body has shifted into, the result of your food, your routines, and lifestyle that no longer matches your unique body type. So, of course, it's going to feel random, and it's going to feel like it comes out of nowhere. And it's definitely going to feel like your body's unpredictable, but you're noticing the moment that it interrupts you, not the rhythm your body has been in leading up to it. And until you understand the pattern underneath the symptom, you will always feel like you're reacting instead of leading. This isn't about trying harder. It's not about getting it perfect or finding that magic supplement or protocol. It's about understanding what your body has actually been doing before the symptoms showed up. So a few nights ago, I went to bed early. I guess it was more than a few nights ago, but I've been really practicing no screens, no work for weeks on end now. And the second I laid down, I could feel stress sitting right in my chest and in my stomach. I'm sure you've probably felt that too at some point. And then my mind started, oh, I need to call the mechanic tomorrow. Follow up on those invoices for my husband's business. Ooh, that's a great podcast idea. And I should make those salad rolls tomorrow. Haven't had those in a while. But I don't have any cucumbers. I need to text my husband in the morning to pick some up. And, part of me wanted to get up, and always does, and write everything down because I know I would forget by morning. And this went on for about 3 nights. And by the third night, I was like praying, God, I just want to sleep. I'm trying to be better with my routines. And that's when I started to connect some dots. My body wasn't suddenly stressed at night. It was finally quiet enough to feel what had been there all day, the beginning of the pattern that, if I ignored it long enough, would eventually show up as some sort of a symptom. So what you feel in the quiet moments isn't new. It's the only time your body can get your attention. And the symptom didn't create your pattern, but the pattern explains why the symptom finally showed up when it did. And once you start seeing the pattern underneath the symptom, you stop guessing, and you finally have a clear explanation for what's actually been happening in your body. And this is exactly why everything you've tried has felt inconsistent. You've been trying to solve the symptom without understanding the pattern underneath of it. So, of course, the fixes feel like they're hit or miss, like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. And of course, something helps for a week, and then it just suddenly doesn't. And then you might get a stretch of good days, and then one day you get thrown off. And it's not because you're necessarily choosing the wrong things for your body. It's because you've been choosing them without knowing the context of your body. So think about it. You're picking supplements based on symptoms. You're choosing foods because someone said, well, they're healthy. And you're shifting your workouts because you think you need to burn more or you need to calm down. And you're trying new routines because they worked for someone else, so they're probably going to work for you too. And so you're constantly making these adjustments, but without knowing what your body actually needs right now. That's the issue. And without that context, without understanding the pattern your body is operating from, none of it feels predictable. And that's why symptoms never go away or they come right back. And that's why you feel like you're constantly trying to get ahead of something that you can't see. And it's not that you haven't found the right fix, it's that every fix has been aimed at the outcome instead of the reason the outcome keeps happening. Once you understand the pattern underneath the symptom, the choices you're already making, like your food, your workouts, your routines, your supplements, they finally start to work for your body. Not as rules or restrictions, but it's decisions that actually match the pattern that your body is in. And that's the shift that most women don't understand. Now, here's probably what feels so frustrating for you. You're making choices without the information that you actually need, but you don't know that. So even when you're doing the right things, eating well, choosing the supplements carefully, adjusting your routines, getting to bed on time, your results are still inconsistent. Your digestion, it cooperates one day and then maybe not the next. Your energy is great until it's not. And your mental clarity is sharp and then scattered tomorrow. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because none of those choices are connected to the pattern underneath what you're feeling. So you keep optimizing that surface, that symptom, but you're not addressing the reason the symptom showed up in the first place. And that's the real issue. Once you understand the pattern that you're operating in, your choices stop being guesses and they start being decisions that actually match your body. Why does this matter to you? Because when you understand the pattern that is behind your symptoms, your choices stop working against you. You stop guessing and you stop wasting energy on fixes that don't match what your body actually needs. And no, I am not promising healing. It's just like a business coach can't guarantee that someone will scale to 6 or 7 figures. They can give the strategy, the clarity, and the framework, but the outcome depends on what the client chooses to do with it. And it's the same here. When you understand your pattern and how it connects to your unique body type, you finally have the right information to make decisions that actually support your body. And that's where it gets exciting because that's where things start to shift. You know which foods support your body type and which ones actually work against you. And you'll know when your routine needs adjusting and why. And you'll know why a symptom shows up instead of spiraling all day long. And the more accurately you understand what your body is doing, the more consistent your body feels, which makes everything easier to navigate. Several years ago, I didn't know how to use Excel. I was pretending that I did, but pretending definitely wasn't helping me to create the reports that my job needed. So I took a course and I did that every night. And within a month, I was helping the engineers and the surveyors with their formulas because once I understood how the system worked, I could pretty much handle anything that came to me. And I could bet that you've probably had things like this in your life, something that you had to learn from scratch. And once you actually understood it, you could do it with your eyes closed. And so that's the same shift that happens when you understand your body. You're not hoping or guessing. You're not trying to fix everything under the sun. You understand your system, your body, and decisions become easier and more effective. And naturally, you start trusting your body again because you trust your understanding of it. And for high-performing, solution-driven women like you, that's what you've been missing. Not another protocol, but the ability to read your body, the same way that you've learned to master everything else in your life. For me, this was the absolute turning point. And I know for you, it is as well. Now, if this connected anything for you today, I want you to share it with another woman who's also trying to make sense of her body. And I tell you, don't gatekeep because you never know who is lying awake at night wondering why her symptoms keep showing up and blaming herself for what she doesn't understand yet. Thanks for listening in this week. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you back here next week. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, tap follow and leave a 5-star review down below. I read every single one and it helps more women find this podcast. If you want to keep the conversation going, head to tashamiller.co for resources, offers, and all the ways to connect with me.